Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs. Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. That's a strong start. Well done. Gap to teammate ahead is 9.0 seconds. They're on old super softs. The time last lap was a 1:24.4. Okay, gap ahead is 1.1 seconds. They're on old softs.
Their tyres are 1 lap old.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 31.6. Currently, the fastest lap is a 1:23.3. Gap to car in front is 1.2 seconds. We're 2.5 seconds slower. They're on old softs.
Their tyres are 2 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 26.5. We're trailing our teammate by 10.8 seconds. They're on old super softs. The time last lap was a 1:23.3. Okay, gap to leader, 11.3 seconds.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Caution, caution. Green flag, green flag. We're racing again. The gap to the car ahead is 1.5 seconds. You're losing around 0.3 a lap. They're on old super softs.
Their tyres are 4 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 25.4. Our gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds.
Gap to teammate ahead is
15.2 seconds. They're on old super softs. The time last lap was a 1:24.1. The gap to the car behind is 25.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs.
Their tyres are 1 lap old.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 49.1.
They have a time penalty of
3.0. Okay, gap ahead is 2.8 seconds.
We're dropping back by around 4/10 a lap.
They're on old softs.
Their tyres are 5 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:25.2. That last lap was a 1 minute 25.6. Gap to car in front is 3.1 seconds. The gap to the car ahead is 3.3 seconds.
We're dropping back by around 4/10 a lap.
They're on old softs.
Their tyres are 6 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:24.6. Our gap to the car in front is 3.8 seconds.
You're losing around 7/10 a lap.
They're on old softs.
Their tyres are 7 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.7. The gap behind us is 23.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs.
Their tyres are 3 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:24.0.
They have a time penalty of
3.0. Okay, gap ahead is 4.6 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 22.2 seconds. The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.0.
They have a time penalty of
6.0. Our gap behind is 10.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1:30.3. The gap to the car behind is 10.3 seconds.
Green flag.
Gap to car in front is 5.3 seconds.
We're dropping back by around 4/10 a lap.
They're on old super softs.
Their tyres are 9 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 25.3. Our gap to first place is 22.4 seconds. We're trailing our teammate by 22.9 seconds. They're on old super softs. The time last lap was a 1:23.9. P3, you are currently in P3. The gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. The gap behind us is 6.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The gap to the leader is 23.0 seconds. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the super softs. Okay, we think the effects of the tyre deg are going to kick in soon. We should be alright for the time being, but you will start to find it a bit more slippery out there. Okay, just to advise you, we're expecting the tyre grip to start falling off noticeably around now, but this set should be okay for a while longer despite that. The gap to the car ahead is 1.9 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 4.6 seconds.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left. Your pit window opens next lap. The car behind's tyres are in much better condition than yours. We'll keep an eye on the times.
Our gap behind is 3.1 seconds. They're on old mediums.
Their tyres are 5 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.2.
We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap. Understood, stopping this lap.
Pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Complete, go now. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Okay, clear.
Less than a second separate you.
They're on old mediums.
Their tyres are 14 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:25.1. The distance to the leader is 41.3 seconds. The gap to the car behind is 6.6 seconds. Our gap to the car in front is 7.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.9. Okay, gap ahead is 8.0 seconds. The battery is low on energy. Reduce ERS deployment. Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:22.4. Gap to car in front is 6.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.4. The gap to the car ahead is 6.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:24.4. Okay, tyres still looking good, Nick. Let's keep them that way for as long as we can. The gap behind us is 9.2 seconds. We're losing about 5 seconds a lap. This pace is far too slow. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 14 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.1. Okay, the gap behind is 9.2 seconds. Our gap to the car in front is 6.8 seconds. Gap to teammate ahead is 44.6 seconds. Okay, gap ahead is 7.2 seconds.
You're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work.
They're on old mediums.
Their tyres are 15 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:24.3. Gap to car in front is 7.6 seconds.
You're closing by 0.4 per lap.
They're on old mediums.
Their tyres are 16 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:24.4. Our gap behind is 9.7 seconds.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
The gap to the car ahead is 7.8 seconds.
You're closing by 0.4 per lap.
They're on old mediums.
Their tyres are 16 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:24.4.
Eighth place. You're in 8th place.
Our gap to the car in front is 7.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. The gap to the car behind is 10.0 seconds. They're on old mediums.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 5 laps till the end.
0.9 seconds. Okay, gap ahead is 7.6 seconds.
You're dropping back by around 0.2 each lap.
They're on old mediums.
Their tyres are 17 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:24.2. The gap behind us is 10.8 seconds. They're on old super softs.
Their tyres are 4 laps old.
The time last lap was a 1:23.3.
They have a time penalty of
9.0. Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Gap to car in front is 8.1 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 10.0 10.3 seconds. They're on old super softs. The time last lap was a 1 minute 23.6. They have a time penalty of 9.0. They're on old softs. The time last lap was a 1:23.9. You're sat in P8. The gap to the car ahead is 8.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Our gap behind is 10.4 seconds. They're on old super softs. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open. Okay, you're in the top 10. The gap to the car behind is 10.3 seconds. They're on old super softs. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.7. They have a time penalty of 9.0. Our gap to the car in front is 7.8 seconds. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race.